Hello everyone, my name is Cecil and today I will be sharing my DNA Ancestry Results with you. I'm from Cape Town in South Africa and my entire life I've been classified as a colored. It is a term that I have never felt comfortable with. It's a term that I have learned to tolerate, but it is something that I've not felt comfortable with, not in calling myself a colored or being called a colored from other people. But as a child, I quickly had to learn that I could only get onto certain buses. I could only get into certain train carriages. I could only swim at certain beaches because I was a colored. I always wanted to serve my community, and as a young boy I always said I wanted to become a policeman. So when I joined the police at the age of 20, I soon learned that hasn't changed. My force number or badge number in the police was K618359T, and the K in front of my force number stood for Kleerling, colored. So even though I was giving my 100% to everyone in South Africa, I was still only considered as a Kleerling, as a colored. So my journey started where I wanted to find out just where do I come from, what is my roots, where does my ancestors come from, where does my great-grandfather and my great-grandmom come from. I wanted to know more about it. So this is what brings us to where we are today. For my 54th birthday, I received a few gifts, which I am so happy about. One of those gifts is this laptop, which is in front of me, that I'm using today, and the other one was a DNA test kit, which I was very excited to receive. And so 6 weeks ago, when I got my DNA Ancestry test kit, I did the swab, I sealed it, and then the test kit was collected and taken away by courier to be analyzed in a lab. So 6 weeks later, last week, I received an email to say that my results have arrived, and I can just click on the email and just open it and then read it. I was very excited, very emotional about it, because I felt this will give me a big idea as to where my ancestors come from, where my roots are. I kept it for a few days, never looked at it, and so I opened it for the first time today. And here's my ancestry report that I want to share with you today. Now on the first page it says Ancestry Report, and then it gives my client number. I believe everyone has a particular client number. And then my name and surname, Cecil Matthews. Then the table of contents on page 1. Page 2 is understanding your results. Page 3 is frequently asked questions. Page 4 is frequently asked questions continued. And then your results, ancestral contributions on page 5. Find the regions in descending order on the right. So when I look to the right, and then I am excited to see just the different percentages, but what is great for me to see is there's a lot of those percentages that doesn't tick with me, or the way there's nothing next to it for me. But let's start right at the top. The first one is Western African. So my roots lie 25.33% is from Western Africa, and 24.76% is Southern Africa Bantu speaking, and then 17.99% is Southern Africa Khoisan. That's extremely good news. The three top ones are both double digits. And if I calculate those three double digits, it gets roughly to about 60 odd percent. So 60 odd percent is quite a lot. It means that I'm African. I am African. I can proudly say today that I'm African. And then it continues, and there's a certain few more percentages, and it's reached here that 7.82% is Southern Asia, Southeastern Asia 6.92%, Eastern Africa 6.78%, Ashkenazi Jew, I've never heard of an Ashkenazi Jew, 5.19%, but there is Jewish roots in me. 3.51% is Western and Central Europe. And then the last one, 1.68% is from Central Africa. So this is extremely wonderful news for me. But especially because of the first three, which describes Western Africa, Southern Africa, Bantu speaking, and Southern Africa, Khoisan. So the question is, so who do I identify with? Then I'm proud to say that I can identify with the first people of Southern Africa, which is the Khoisan. I'm proud to say that I can identify myself with them. If I look at my features, I do not look like Western African. I'm not, or the central part of Africa, which is predominantly darker toned or dark skinned. I also do not look like more of the Southern African Bantu speaking. But my appearance is of a different tone. And when I look at myself, I do identify more with my Khoisan roots. So I'm very proud of that, and I'm very glad that I'm able to share that with you. Why do it on the 16th of June is because the 16th of June is known in South Africa as Youth Day. It is known as it reminds us of the liberation movement. It reminds us of how the young people fought for liberation on the 16th and 17th of June 1976 when I was about 10 years old. But this continues because in 1985 it was also the youth who stood up and said we had enough of oppression, we had enough of the gutter education, and we stood up for our rights. So for me, opening up and looking at my results on the 16th of June is for me a personal journey. It's for me a journey which says that I'm not comfortable with being called a colored, and as from today forward, that will no longer be the case. It has always been a derogatory term. It has always been a thing that I did not feel comfortable with. So today I can proudly say, when I look at these results, nothing whatsoever amongst these results says anything about being a colored. I identify today with being a South African Khoisan. And I'm proud of my history. I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud of my ancestors. So I want to thank you for being a part of this journey, being a part of how I could share my ancestry details with you. And I trust that moving forward, I will be able to share more and more interesting information with you. I thank you.